Hey everyone, it's me, Andrea from Andy's Corner, and I'm so glad that you're continuing this journey with me through the Bible chronologically. And today we are in Job 2. Last episode, we talked about how God had a little visitor or a few visitors, and how God pointed out, look at my servant Job. He is such an upright man. And we learned how his family, his wealth and riches, his property had all been destroyed. And what did Job say? He said, praise the name of the Lord. That's amazing. And the end of Job 1, it said that in all this, Job did not sin. Now, you think that would have been enough. No, it was not. But before we dig into chapter 2, I kind of forgot to go over what stuck out to you about God. I did mention it briefly, but I don't know if you're paying attention. So the first chapter, we kind of see God, that God is in control, or also known as his sovereignty. So that even though the accuser is what they called him in the Bible, or Satan is another name, that God allowed Satan to do things to Job. He limited him. And he said, nope, here's your boundary. And you can do all this, but do not touch Job. And Satan said, okay, let's see what happens. But God was still in control of all of that. Now, that may actually be confusing because you might be thinking, well, why would God allow that? We'll find out later in the book, maybe the answer to the question, or maybe not. But today we're going to go over chapter 2. So let's see what happens next. One day, the members of the sons of heaven came again to present themselves before the Lord. And the accuser, Satan, came with them. Where have you come from? The Lord asked Satan. Satan answered the Lord, I have been patrolling the earth, watching everything that's going on, which is a little creepy, okay? Let's just say that. Then the Lord asked Satan, have you noticed my servant Job? He is the finest man in all the land, in all the earth. He is blameless, a man of complete integrity. He fears God and stays away from evil. And he has maintained his integrity even though you urged me to harm him without cause. Pause. Because there's so many things packed in that little paragraph. Now, first of all, I don't know about you, but I pray and wish that God could say these things about me, that I'm blameless and that I have integrity. Now, obviously, I desire that. And so I go to God and ask him to continue to cleanse my heart and make me blameless and give me a good heart that desires to do good things. So all I'm saying is that's something to strive for, to pray for, and to really continue to search your heart and ask God to continue to make it clean. But then this is kind of where this is like the answer to the entire book, but it's in the second chapter. Later on in the book of Job, we will hear from his friends who continually try to blame him with sin. And they say, all of this must have happened because you've sinned. But the answer is literally right here. And God says he has maintained his integrity even though you urged me to harm him without cause. Meaning, Job did nothing to deserve any of this. That is huge. Hold on to that nugget. It's actually bigger than a nugget. It's a huge rock that is really the foundation of this book. Okay, verse 4. Satan replied to the Lord, listen, skin for skin. A man will give up everything he has to save his life, but reach out and take away his health. He will surely curse you to your face. All right. Do with him as you please, the Lord said to Satan, but spare his life. So Satan left the Lord's presence, and he struck Job with terrible boils from his head to his toe. Now, boils are like huge, oozy goozy blisters. It was a common thing back in the day. People would get boils and then they pop and they ooze and they gooze and they itch, and his whole body was covered head to toe. Can you imagine how uncomfortable and how much pain he was in? Okay, but even what I love though is even in all this, God said, spare his life. He still allowed Satan to go one step further, but he still gave Satan a parameter and said, but you cannot kill him. Okay? Verse 8. Job scraped his skin with a piece of broken pottery. Ouch. As he sat among the ashes. Now, this is a type of grief. Back in that day, they sit in the ashes like, woe is me. My life is so hard. I'm just going to sit here in the ashes. His wife said to him, are you still trying to maintain your integrity? Curse God and die. Now, she's literally telling him to do exactly what Satan wanted him to do. Satan wanted him to curse God. But let's see what Job says. And this, take it to the bank, folks, and invest in it, because this is huge. But Job replied, you talk like a foolish woman. He didn't say you are a foolish woman. He said you talk like a foolish woman. Should we accept only good things from the hand of God and never anything bad? Wow. Wisdom. Wisdom. Should we only accept the good things from God and not the bad? That's not real life. In life, we get good things. In life, we get bad things. We can't refuse to stop the bad things. And in fact, sometimes the bad things really lead us closer to God. And as we read the Bible, we will definitely see that. So, in all this, Job said nothing wrong. Wow. So he's still holding on to his integrity. And that's amazing. What did you learn about God in this chapter? I think, again, it just confirms that he's in control and that he feels joy when he looks upon his children, when they honor him and they have integrity and they are blameless, that he loves to brag about his children. Look at my servant Job. He's blameless. He has such high integrity. Like, how awesome of a father is he that he likes to talk about his children that bring him joy? And I think it also shows, again, that he is sovereign, that no matter what happens in our life, even if it doesn't make sense, even if we did nothing wrong, that God may have allowed it. But that doesn't mean that we should curse God. It means that we should just hold on and see what's happening. Because in this book, God speaks. And yes, God speaks to Job. And God will speak to you. Have you ever gone through something that was so heartbreaking and you felt alone, or you felt like, why is this happening to me? God, why have you done this? You keep going to God. You keep praying to him. Keep falling on your knees and crying out to him, and he will answer you, because he loves his children and he loves to talk with his children and he wants to be close to you. That's what I learned in today's chapter. I'd love to hear what you learned in today's chapter. All right? So join me next episode as we hear from some of Job's friends. I mean, are they cool friends or not so cool? We'll find out. All right? Bye.